The wait is officially over! And before anyone says anything, don't mind the sniper trained on my forehead. Nintendo announced in its recent Switch 2 Direct that Silksong will finally be released this year. They thought they could just slide it in there like it was nothing, but the Hollow Knight community is going ballistic over the surprise drop. Thing is, you're probably here because you haven't even played Hollow Knight yet. This hype means nothing to you because you don't even know where it all started. Allow me to catch you up. Hollow Knight is an indie game created by Team Cherry, released February 24th, 2017. That's more than 8 years ago now. It didn't have a big release, but its artistic charm, captivating story, and seamless gameplay rocketed it into the public eye. A team of about 4 people are responsible for the entire game, and it was released practically unfinished due to budget constraints, but you'd never know that playing through it. Team Cherry was able to craft a masterpiece in a cave with a box of scraps! And Silksong is going to be them working at their best. No budget cuts, no compromise, just pure, unfettered mastery. Hollow Knight has all you could ask for in a game. The narrative is elusive and exciting, the artwork is gorgeous, the soundtrack's phenomenal, and the gameplay has all the intricacies, collectibles, secrets, upgrades, power-ups, and boss fights you could ever ask for. Enough yapping. Let's give you a taste before I start talking about things you can't even visualize yet. Hollow Knight sets the stage in a way that already teases how unique an experience you're in for. A far-off piano plays the game's most common musical motif as a poem alludes to the game's origin. From the first couple seconds, you're able to identify the somber tone and story-focused approach that is uncommon in the genre of Metroidvanias. The gameplay itself begins with your cute little character waking up in a gloomy, craggy pit. Immediately, the art direction's clear. Heavy outlines, deep colors, and somber, lonely, wistful tones, faded and dreaming of an age long past. In my opinion, silence is the greatest instrument. And Hollow Knight has a beautiful grasp on how to show, not tell. Notes scrawled onto rocks serve as your tutorial and even your early indications of lore. As I mentioned, show, don't tell. Hollow Knight is not a straightforward tale. It is a broken world that you're only seeing the remnants of, and you must place each piece where it belongs in order to discover the narrative. Upon navigating out of this first gloomy area, you're greeted by the devoid, yet charming town of Dirtmouth, where Elderdug further teases lore and guides you to the nearby well, where the fabled kingdom of Hallownest waits to swallow another adventurer. The Forgotten Crossroads is where your story begins. Massive halls and echoing caverns suggest a once booming society that has fallen into disrepair. At this point, Hallownest is not only past its prime, it's fallen completely out of memory. However, for some reason, adventurers still feel an irresistible pull, a calling to venture deeper inside to uncover the secrets and riches within. What could possibly cause an entire kingdom to fall into such dreary a state that not even its name is recalled? Greed, war, mutiny, a failed monarchy? Why does so great a kingdom need to bury itself underground in the first place? I refuse to spoil any aspect of this game, but I assume you're here because what you've heard so far hasn't been enough to intrigue you, so I'll concede slight details on the gameplay itself. Your journey through Hallownest is governed by puzzles and the abilities and upgrades you obtain along the way. Hollow Knight can be classified as a Metroidvania, so there's plenty of revisiting each area, so don't worry too much about moving on from an area before it's fully completed. Honestly though, this is the only point where I'll detract from the game. My first playthrough, I got caught in one specific dead end for a good hour of gameplay. It was my own fault, of course, and I got out of it eventually, but the game absolutely refuses to guide you. Many entrances to new areas are locked behind future upgrades, and you need to remember to come back when you have what you need. No quest journal, no map marker, no nothing. That might be a pro for you, but for a small window in the mid-game, I felt lost and confused a fair portion of the time. It only ended up in about an hour or two of wandering within a 50-hour playthrough though, so it's all part of exploration. In terms of combat though, Hollow Knight is unmatched. 2D side-scrollers are generally known for lackluster combat systems and are mostly surface-level experiences, but this couldn't be further from what Hollow Knight accomplishes. At the start, there's minimal tech to exploit, but you quickly unlock traversal options, and then the combat options blossom soon after. With just enough moving pieces to allow for challenging fights but highly customizable combat strategies, there's a way to play for everyone. The game avoids becoming so detailed it's overwhelming by slowly introducing things piece by piece, letting you acclimate to each change before the next one shows up. Each ability is a welcome addition to the last, not feeling either shoved down your throat or so elusive you're pissed it took so long to find. What you're seeing on screen right now is what endgame combat looks like. Each fight morphs from a wild frenzy to an elegant dance as you perfect each pattern and learn what style best suits you. Even the most difficult fights are 100% fair and able to be done entirely hitless, which is one of the requirements for a great game in my opinion. A final note I will leave you with is the passion you can feel oozing from this game. The game had 3 massive updates, all considered DLC, added for free to the base game. No extra costs, just a meager $20 they ask you for up front. These updates came with extra upgrades, mechanics, quests, and one of the hardest boss fights in the entire game. The artwork is unique and charming, and each environment is handcrafted to the finest detail. The flow of combat is so refined it tells a story of hours upon hours of testing, and the lore is so deep that it alone is worth more than the price of the game. If Hollow Knight were a $20 book, I would still recommend it. It is a game! You get to play and discover the book, which is so goddamn cool and one of the greatest advantages of gaming as an artistic medium. You can feel Hollow Knight was truly something that Team Cherry was excited to create and share with the world, and their pride is evident in its flawless design. Hollow Knight knows its strengths, and it respects you as a player. It is fair, it is fun, it is mysterious, and it rewards every drop of effort you're willing to pour into the game. It's not an experience to be forgotten, and the story is still far from finished at the final boss fight. The difference between 70% completion and 112% is itself an entire game, and that's where you truly understand and fall in love with the narrative. The tragic tale of Hollow Knight is worth every penny, and I will always say, till the end of days, you need to play Hollow Knight. I hope you enjoyed my trailer/review for one of my personal favorite games. If you did, a like and subscribe would help me make more of these, and I'd love to do the same with Silksong someday. I'll be streaming it day 1 on my Twitch, and the full playthrough will be posted here when I beat it. Please, please, go play Hollow Knight. You have no idea how excited I am for Silksong, and it's all because of the precedent Hollow Knight sets. Seriously, you won't regret it.